Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me at the Market Site studio, we have Dr. Merav Ozair. She is a global blockchain and cryptocurrency expert with her 2023 outlook for the crypto space. It is great to have you with us, as always, Merav. Welcome back to Trade Talks.
And happy to be here.
Yes, great to have you as always.
And Happy New Year.
Can you believe it? It's the middle of January already. So good time to get your outlook for 2023. And I think your overarching theme is we need to separate cryptocurrency and the trading of it versus the blockchain technology and the potential of Web3.
Exactly. I mean, there's so much, I know that, I even wrote about it, that probably the 22 will, unfortunately, will be remembered for the FTX debacle and, the Celsius and the Voyager, and especially the FTX, and everyone is now when they think about blockchain technology and Web3, they think about FTX. And I say to people again and again, FTX has nothing to do with blockchain technology or Web3 or Metaverse or everything that we are working so hard and trying to build and create and evolve and benefit our society and economy. FTX, let's put things in the right context, is basically a centralized trading platform, period. Centralized trading platform, like Nasdaq, where we are right here.
Right.
But Nasdaq is regulated, so it cannot do things that FTX allowed itself to do. If it were regulated exactly like Nasdaq, I believe that all these predicament that they, came across, would have been prevented.
Right. I mean, you could make the argument that the alleged commingling of customer funds, that can happen with equities,
right.
That can happen with fixed
exactly.
income. This just happened to have been crypto, and it has happened. Did we stop trading stocks because of Bernie Madoff?
No,
right?
We didn't. Criminals and people who are trying to do unscrupulous things will always be.
Right. We'll have this conversation 10, 15 years from now. It's something new.
Exactly. We probably know, I don't know, my generation, 100 years ago, they talked about that. There are always going to be scams. There are always going to be unscrupulous people that will try to, to benefit. And, because we evolved, so now instead of, regular equities, like in the case of Madoff, now we have crypto.
So, but there are some silver linings to this, and
right.
you and I have discussed this before.
Right.
Better regulation came out of what we saw with Bernie Madoff. Better regulation came out of what we saw with the housing crisis in 2008, 2009 with the banks. So perhaps in 2023, the regulations will get the attention they deserve.
That's what I hope. I hope that, maybe because we already had many things happen. Even in 2017, I advocated, after the first,
right.
big winter that we had, when it went up and then it went down, and we had a crypto window, for a couple of years. Even then, I advocate that we have to regulate all these centralized platforms, because it's just trading like anything that any other trade. We have to protect investors. We have to protect traders. We have to do that because it's just a trading platform. It happens that it is crypto, but it could be any asset class or anything like that. It doesn't matter what it is. And we don't even have to invent the wheel. We don't. They're really very, very strict rules. You can be, if you are a trading platform, you can be also the market maker. You can trade against your clients. There are kind of things that are just common sense that you don't do in trading platform already.
Right.
So it doesn't matter whether it's crypto or something else.
Yeah. Well, do you think part of the challenges with the exchanges, let's just call them that for now, to your point, were market makers, they custodied, they cleared, they were trading. U.S. equity regulation could be a bit boring because all these things are separated out, but maybe there's a reason for that, for checks and balances.
Of course there is a reason for that, because otherwise you can't really make sure that whatever, as a user, if I'm trading, that my assets and my funds are protected.
Right.
Right? If, let's say, Nasdaq is allowed to take my funds and do whatever they want to do with this,
right.
Then how do I know, that if I wake up tomorrow morning and I still have it?
Right.
And it has nothing to do whether the price went up or down. It's just because they decided not to do something with it. It's like, let's put it this way: if I put my money at the bank, right, in my bank account. Yeah, the bank, we know they're using it. Of course they're using it. How do they make the profit? They're using it in order, to lend it to someone, for either for mortgage or a car or whatever, and they're getting, percentage. And then, so But I do know that when I really want it, they can't tell me, oh, sorry,
Right.
it's gone.
Well, let's move beyond regulations for a moment here, because I could tell you that the underlying technology, blockchain, and the possibilities that Web3 and Metaverse open up, whether it's consumer or for enterprise, I think that's really what the exciting part about it. Like, we were at CES, a Consumer Electronics Show last week in Vegas, and I heard nothing as it relates to cryptocurrency. Everything was about leveraging these newer technologies in conjunction with AI, of course.
Exactly.
And that's really where the buzz was. I don't even get pitches for the show anymore in crypto trading. It's all about the underlying technology.
Exactly, because we have to, once we get past that hump, that we understand that these are trading platforms that needs to be regulated like anything, like is centralized trading platform. Now we have to talk about the technology, the applications themselves that can benefit society and economy, and it can be used for any business use cases. What Starbucks is doing, with NFTs, they're trying to create this immersive experience, which is interesting, and we probably will see more and more like that. Or just before, Christmas, here in Times Square, we had the virtual band gorillas, I think. They had this AR, augmented reality show here. I don't know, were you here on
I was
that
not
Sunday?
here. No, I was not here for that one. But
so these are the exciting things that we think about, and we're going to see more and more of that. We're going to see more, like Nike is entering into the metaverse. We're going to see our decentralized identity. I mean, everything is already digitized. Our identity is digitized, right? Your presence is all over the internet. Everything is digitized, but it's not protected. If we take the step further and use Web3, then we can add all the protections and the security that we need for identity.
Right. So, okay, so we're talking about regulation as it relates to crypto trading. Well, what about, always looking at how digital media law and data privacy is being protected? That's a huge debate right now. Is the metaverse ready for that?
Well, the metaverse let's put it this way: the metaverse, as the glorious concept, the 3D, and we're all gonna be, you and I gonna be now doing this in the metaverse. Probably that's not going to happen tomorrow. It's still years away. So maybe we can take those years to prepare in terms of the privacy and the ethics and all those other regulations that we need within the metaverse. Because in the metaverse, all of our privacy and what I call, our identity, digital identity or decentralized identity, is going to be even more critical because of the AI that can be used. And you basically, your avatar is everything about you, and they can sense everything about you, from how you behave, how you use your facial expressions, how you use your eyelids, your hands, your temperature. So there's so much information about you, even genetically and DNA. So it's scary. So I hope that we're not there yet, but we have some time, and maybe this is good, because this years that we're still not there yet, we can prepare ourselves in terms of the regulations and how we're going to protect us and how we're going to protect the privacy of the users.
All right, and Merav, appreciate the insight as always. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks, and thanks for joining me. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Market Reporter at Nasdaq.